Hi, I'm Jodeen at Hoodie Priestess Tarot, and thank you for watching my channel. Today is July 14th, Tuesday, and it is the day of the new moon in Cancer. And the new moon is a time when the moon is dark and you can't see the moon in the sky. And from this day forward, the moon is going to move out of the Earth's shadow a little bit every day for 2 weeks until it becomes a full moon. And we all know what the full moon is. But I always think of the new moon as also the dark of the moon. And I think of it kind of like a womb. It's the dark place, it's the void. And the new moon can be a time when we set intentions, or work on our manifestations, or say our prayers for things that we would like to increase, because the moon is going to be increasing over the weeks ahead. So what is it in our life that we would like to begin and watch grow? Or what is it that we would like to see increase or grow more abundant? These are things you can think about on the new moon. And I thought that we would commemorate this new moon by making sigils. What are sigils? Sigils are, you could think of them as little domestic spells, or you could think of them as arts and crafts, but they are a symbol that you create to set your intentions on something that you'd like to do or achieve or see materialize. And they're little made symbols of those things. And I'm going to demonstrate how to make 3 different sigils. So there's thinking of the sigil, there's actually making the sigil, and then there is charging or activating or putting the sigil into effect. Many people just call that charging, but I like to think of it as activating the sigil. So that's what this video is going to be about. Now, today is the full moon, but I think you could make a sigil a couple days before the full moon, on the full moon, or a couple days after the full moon. I think that that's a window of time that's open for setting your intentions or starting your manifestations. A lot of times we don't, we're working on our jobs, we're taking care of our homes and our children and other projects that we have going on. We may not be able to do a creative work like this right on the full moon or right on the new moon, because we can do activities on the full moon too. But we don't always have time right when those moons are occurring. So it's good to know that you've got a couple days before and you've got a couple days after where I think the energy is still, that portal is still open. Now, you may not get time to do a sigil on this new moon at all, but you can save the idea for another new moon. Now remember, the new moon is a time, it's like a time of gestation. It's like a time of birthing new things. The full moon would be different. We don't start new things on the full moon because the moon is already big. It's at its largest point. So when we start new things, we do it at the dark of the moon so that it can grow as the moon grows. When the moon is full, then we want to think about gratuity for all that has been accomplished, or just taking stock of all that we have accomplished. But also the full moon might be a time for thinking of things that we would like to decrease in our lives or make smaller in our lives. So that's a whole nother topic. So today we're just going to talk about activities for the new moon. We're going to talk about sigil. Okay, well, I'm going to be making 3 sigils today, and I'm going to be charging them or putting them into action in 3 different ways. This one is I am inspired because I want to feel more creative, because I feel like I've just been sitting in my chair watching too much TV when I could be doing other things that I really want to do. So I'm inspired. The other one is I am flexible. And this one, I meant like I was physically flexible, so flexible in my body, but also flexible in my heart to accept change and to try new things, but also flexible in my mind to experience new ideas and not be so set in my ways, to be more flexible. So in mind, heart, and body. And then the third one is I eat healthy. Okay, so if I'm honest, what I really want to accomplish with eating healthy, the first thing I want to accomplish is to lose weight. But I didn't want to write a sigil about losing weight because I knew right away I would reject it. Because I've spent my whole life losing weight, it's like it's constantly been on my mind. And I'm in a phase in my life right now where it's like, no, I'm tired of that prison. That's kind of an 8 of Swords prison for me, is always feeling like I need to lose weight. But I can eat healthy and I can be strong. So I'm going to try my best with that sigil. I don't think it ever hurts to be healthy and eat healthy. And then hopefully other things will follow suit from there. Okay, so let us begin. I'm going to start with I am inspired. And so what we do when we make the sigil is first we arrive at what it is that our intention is, or what it is that we'd like to manifest. And that can take some thought. So the first thing is to like really, like, here was an example here, like the one about I eat healthy. I had to really think through it. It's like, it's not just about losing weight. You know, is that all I want, just to lose weight? Or do I want to feel good? Or do I want to feel strong? You know, so really take some time and think about it. And then also, I try to keep my phrasing as simple as possible so that it's not like long sentences with lots of descriptive words. Just keep it really short and simple. That's my personal preference. Of course, you will do what you want. But so, okay, I arrived at a 3-word statement. I am inspired. So what I'm going to do right now is go through, I'm going to keep the I, but I'm going to take out the rest of the vowels. So I'm going to take out A, and you're going to take out any vowels also that there's 2 of them. So like there's 2 I's, actually there's 3 I's, but I need to leave the 1 I. I'm going to take out these 2 I's, I'm going to take out that E. So then we're left with I M N S P R D. So then we get it down to that. Maybe I better make that darker so it can be seen on the camera. So then we get it down to I M N S P R D. Okay? So the sigil is like a little code. It's like a little code that your subconscious understands. It's not necessary that it's in perfect English so that anybody can read it. It's almost like a secret little language, a secret little code. In fact, some people would probably use Runaic alphabets to write their sigils in. And that's something you could look up too. I didn't want to get into that in this video because that's a whole topic unto itself. So I was trying to narrow it down to something I could handle in one video. But I have practiced with Runaic alphabets before, and I enjoyed doing that. And I would encourage you to do it if that's what you would like to do. But anyway, so we have these letters. So that's what's going to go in my sigil. So now what we want to do is make a design. Okay, I'm going to start with an I, and I'm going to try and make it kind of big. And then the next one that I'm going to fit in is an M. I know I have to have an M. I think I'm going to put that M right here. So we're creating sort of a design with our sigil. And then we have an N. Actually, we could consider that this figure right here is already an N. And I'm going to go ahead and do that and not feel like I need to add another thing in. Now, my next one is an S, though. I've got this upside down by now. So I'm going to just go and put my S in right here. It's kind of big. And then I need a P. And seeing as I already have the line right here for a P, I think I'm going to go and put the head of it in right there. And now I need somewhere an R. Which I think I will do right here. And then I need to put in a D. And I think I'm going to use this. Well, should I? I'm going to go ahead and use this part of the P for my D. So I'm going to go ahead and make my D right there. And that's my sigil. I am inspired. So it ends up being just like a little design. And then we're going to put a circle around it to encase the magic of it. Right? I am inspired. I'm inspired to be more creative. In fact, I could add the word creativity to this sigil. I see I have a lot of space down here. Let's go ahead and do it. Oop, I need to put a blotter page there. I'm dealing with permanent marker here. Okay, so I'm going to take the word creativity and write it over here. CREATIVI, creativity, Y. Now we're going to take out the vowel E, the vowel A, the vowel I, and the vowel Y. So we come down to CRTV. And since we've already got one T, we'll take the second T out. So CRTV. Now I'm going to try and fit that into this space. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do my C backwards. I'm going to do this. There's my C. Of course, if I turn it this way, then it looks like a proper C, doesn't it? And I've already got an R up here. So I won't need to put another one in. But I do need to put a T in, and I need to put a V in. So I think I'm going to make my T right here. And I'm going to put my V this could be interpreted with V's in it, but I'm gonna add a V right here. So that now I've added it. I am inspired, and creativity is my sigil. Okay, we'll set that one aside. And then I'm going to work on the next one, which is I am flexible. Now, I have a special plan with I Am Flexible, and I've got some mess up here where my marker built through from, or leaked through from where I was inspired. My inspiration leaked through. But I actually want to engage a little picture in this sigil. So what I'm going to do is, I think instead of using letters to do this one, I'm just going to use a picture. And this is how I am going to do it. I'm going to draw a stick person. I'll do it down here. Do I have a blotter? Yep. Going to draw a stick person down here. Very simple. Okay, now I want my inspiration. Remember we talked about mind, body, and heart. So I've already got my body. I'm going to put my heart in right here. It's kind of messy. And then I'm going to put a star up here to represent the mind. So I am inspired, mind, body, and heart. And I think that I will put some shining lights around to just sort of indicate that that's inspiration. I could use a red marker and maybe color in the heart. I'm using blue paper, so I don't know how my yellow will show up, but let's just check it out. But this is really simple. And so what's important is that it's a symbol and that you know what it is. Not that it's perfect work of art or that it would impress anybody else. This is not about impressing anybody. And I'm going to draw my circle around it. And that's my picture. It's very simple. It is. And these can be whatever you want to make them. Okay, I'm trying to keep mine pretty simple for the sake of making a video. But, you know, I just want you to know you can, like, I could go around and decorate this if I wanted to. But I also want to keep my video short. I may come back and add more stuff to this when I'm not creating a video. Okay, and here's the last one. I eat healthy. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the letters like I did in the I Am Flexible sigil. So I'm going to keep the I. I'm going to take out the E, the A. Here we've got E and A again. Take it out and take out the Y. So we end up with I, T, H, L. And we're going to take out the second T, and we're going to take out the second H. So it gets down to 4 letters. I-T-H-L, I eat healthy. Okay, now, I really want to keep this one as simple as I can, and I'll show you why. So there's my I. It's also, isn't it, my T? And if I turn it this way, it's also my H, isn't it? And if I look at it like this, then it's also my L. L, I, T, H. There's the whole sigil right there. I eat healthy. And close the magic. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut out 2 of my sigils and one of them I'm not going to cut out. Now the reason why I chose not to cut this one out, I eat healthy, because this is just a pattern for where I'm actually going to put this sigil, which is I'm going to carve it into some food. I'm going to carve it into an avocado, and I'm going to carve it into a red pepper. And then I'm actually going to activate this intention by eating it. So we'll start with the avocado, and I've never done this before. The avocado isn't quite ripe, but it will be in a day or two, and then I will be able to eat my sigil about eating healthy. The pepper's ready right now, though. I'm putting my sigil intention into effect right now. I'm charging it. With this sigil about being flexible in mind, body, and heart, I'm going to tuck this one into my bed pillow. I'm going to put it right inside the pillowcase. And that way, when I sleep on it every night, my mind, body, and heart will be reminded of my intention. And I'll tuck it back in, and I'm the only one who knows about it. Okay, another way that we can charge or activate our sigil is by burning them. And that's what I'm going to do with this one, that I am inspired to be creative. I think that's a good way, you know, because I think that's a good way to activate this, because this is not something I'm going to eat, nor is this something that I'm going to put under my pillow so that my mind and my heart and my body are activated. This is inspiration, so this is something that it would be good to release into the ethers. Now, normally I would do this outside, and I would do this at night in the dark of the moon, but I'm not sure that I would get a good recording at night outside. And during the day outside, it's very loud. There's a lot of traffic noise where I live. So I'm going to go ahead and do it inside the house, and I've got a ceramic pot that I'm going to use as my cauldron. So I would encourage you, if you're going to burn your sigils, to go ahead and do it outside and to have some kind of cauldron to catch your fire in. But if you need to do it inside, then of course practice all fire safety. Do have a cauldron to catch your fire in. So right now we're going to activate the I am inspired to be creative sigil. And it's pretty easy. You just light it. And we're activating that right now. And as you're doing that, you can think about your intention, which is what I'm going to do. More time creating things and less time on the screen and less time watching silly things on TV. And there it goes. And so that's another way that you can activate your sigils. You will have to decide, based on the sigils you make, which is the best way to do it. You may even come up with other ideas of your own. Of course, when you do a little spell like that, or a craft, however you want to think about it, you may want to record it in a journal or in a book that is especially for that sort of thing, and that is called a grimoire. And you would record what you did and how you did it and what your intentions were and the date that you did it on. And that way you can look back and see how it worked. And if you do that you keep track of things that way. You're keeping a record. You also have a way of looking back and seeing what worked well and what didn't work so well, and think about adjustments that you'd like to make. And so it's a good way to keep track of your work over time. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. Please don't hesitate to comment and like and subscribe. I appreciate you very much. Thanks. Bye-bye.